2025 has been a historical year for crypto and for even XRP. And what's crazy about this is that we're not even fully halfway through the year. We still have a journey in front of us for the rest of 2025, and it seems as though it's only going to get a lot better. Now, recently, Ripple X Dev put out a post, and it was titled, Apex 2025 marked a major turning point for institutional adoption on the XRP ledger. From tokenized treasuries to global stablecoins, real-world finance is no longer hypothetical. It's being built now on the XRP ledger. Here is a quick little short recap. Major announcements from Apex of 2025. 5 stablecoins are live on the XRP ledger: USDC, RLUSD, EURP, XSGD, USDB as well. On those finances, tokenized US Treasuries OUSG launched on the XRP ledger with seamless minting and redemption via RLUSD. Digital commercial paper DCP administered by GTS. Web3 Salon partnership fueling new builders in Japan. And then with programmability and enterprise grade features on the horizon, the XRP ledger is purpose built for institutional finance, multi-purpose tokens, MPTs, structure complex RWAs, permission DEX, compliant secondary markets, credentials, enforce KYC on-chain, real infrastructure for the on-chain economy. Alongside Apex, UBRI Connect brought together 160 plus global researchers, students, and academic faculty, panels and demos on tokenization, stablecoin security, and more. The XRP Ledger Hackathon had over 250 builders. 9 of 10 finalists were student-led. Academic research is fueling the next wave of innovation on the XRP Ledger. Apex 2025 showed what's possible when builders and institutions collaborate. The XRP Ledger is the go-to blockchain for tokenized finance and the on-chain economy. What was your favorite moment from Apex of 2025? Now, looking into this actual post, we could see that, 2025 was a turning point, and the XRP Ledger is right at the forefront of it. I mean, between institutional grade adoption, between all of the major moves that are happening around even Ripple as well, it's very clear that XRP is the bread and butter here for institutional players. We know that public blockchains are the key, play. No, it's no longer about private infrastructure. A lot of people thought that this was going to be the case with, like, for an example, JP Morgan's Onyx, which did get rebranded. But even JP Morgan is now pivoting to public blockchains. This is a very big sign of what's happening. But we also have here from HSBC's Chief Digital Data and Innovation Officer. They joined Ripple's Fiona Murray for a fireside chat on the role of blockchain in banking. Lee shared real-world use cases, including tokenization across multiple asset classes, and how HSBC is building institutional-grade digital asset custody infrastructure. Of course, when we think about this, HSBC is already a partner of Ripple's through Ripple Custody, which is a big deal, and we already know that institutional players, it all starts with custody. After custody is solved, they could target additional use cases. I mean, the overall event just showcased everything that's happening on the XRP Ledger and what's coming up, right? Which is mass institutional grade adoption of the XRP Ledger and even XRP. We actually have here the conversations, launches, and energy at Apex 2025 all point to one thing. The XRP Ledger is becoming a backbone for institutional grade finance. From all new compliance-focused features and unlocking institutional use cases to stablecoins and tokenized government bonds, the XRP Ledger is evolving to meet the needs of modern finance without compromising its public decentralized foundation. With enterprise-grade features like credentials, permission domains, permission DEX, and multi-purpose tokens on the horizon, the XRP Ledger is shaping up to be the go-to blockchain for tokenized financial infrastructure. And listen, when we think about the future here, institutional players are getting the green light. All the big banks just got the green light from the Fed, from the FDIC, from the OCC, you name it. And now, of course, with that in mind, the XRP Ledger, well, it's becoming an institutional powerhouse. Even over here, we have permission delegation as a new feature that enhances security and operational flexibility, enabling clear segregation of duties for token issuers and developers. Then we also have the performance testing that's being done behind this. Like, we continue to see more and more upgrades happening on the XRP Ledger. And when we think about this, this is all based around security. We have down here that the key features that make permission delegation impactful is granular delegation, on-ledger and secure Delegations are recorded on ledger and strictly enforced by the protocol. Full delegator control, transparent on-chain audit as well. The benefits extend across the entire ecosystem, enhance security, increase flexibility, fosters innovation. Potential use cases for permission delegation include MiCA compliance. So now the XRP ledger is fully MiCA compliant. RLUSD stablecoins ops, secure spending keys for users, corporate treasury management, outsource compliance, freeze and clawback, controlled and safer DeFi participation. Ready to build? Well, now you have everything in front of you to do so on the XRP ledger. This again solidifies the fact that, yeah, the XRP ledger is becoming that backbone. It has everything it possibly needs to be as secure and as efficient as possible for institutional players. On top of this, we have over here from Whale Insider, new Ripple launches permission DEX, allowing regulated institutional players to trade on the XRP ledger using verified credentials, enabling KYC gated FX swaps, stablecoin flows, and more. And when we go over here to the actual announcement, big unlock for institutional DeFi on the XRP ledger, the permission DEX. It will allow regulated players to trade on the XRP ledger's DEX using verified credentials, enabling KYC gated FX swaps, stablecoin flows, and more. A major step towards real-world compliant DeFi. The big focus here from my point of view is actually FX swaps. We need to focus on the FX swap side. Traditionally, anyone can match offers on the XRP ledger's DEX. With permission DEX, you can now create gated order books accessible only to approved accounts via credentials. No custom smart contracts, compliance focused. Why does this matter for devs? It enables launching credential gated apps, monetization of premium liquidity access, capturing regulated flows, FX, treasuries, stablecoin rails, all native, fast, and low cost. This builds on the XRP ledger's broader push for compliance, verified credentials, permission domains, clawback, deposit auth, multi-sign, and more. The infrastructure is ready now. It's time to build. Permission DEX equals DeFi without the institutional trade-offs. The tools are alive, the demand is here, the moment is now. This is huge. Listen, we've been hearing about institutional grade DeFi for quite some time. Well, guess what? It just got unlocked. And Ripple did it. Ripple's the ones that's really kind of pushing for this. Ripple is accelerating institutional access and institutional grade adoption of the XRP ledger through DeFi. Introducing permission DEX on the XRP ledger, unlocking institutional access to DeFi. Down here, earlier this year, we outlined a vision for institutional DeFi on the XRP ledger, one built on compliance-first infrastructure, real-world utility, and open access. The launch of a permission DEX is another significant step in that journey. As the XRP ledger ecosystem continues to evolve, one feature has emerged as a pivotal unlock for real-world financial applications powered by blockchain. Permission DEX, launching alongside other on-chain finance features. Permission DEX enables regulated institutions to trade or move value on the XRP ledger DEX without compromising on compliance, scalability, or decentralization. Now, they do break down exactly what a permission DEX actually is. This is basically just approved by participants with the right credentials that can match certain offers within a specific group called a permission domain. Again, this is just mainly for institutional players. This is going to unlock so much around the institutional side of the XRPL. And we have here why permission DEX is the next step for the XRP ledger. The biggest barrier to institutional grade adoption of decentralized exchanges is compliance. Traditional decentralized exchanges are open to everyone by design, which makes it nearly impossible for regulated financial institutions to meet key requirements like KYC and even AML policies. This lack of identity controls this lack of identity controls has kept banks, payment providers, and fintechs on the sidelines, even as they look for faster, more efficient ways to move money on chain. That's where the permission DEX comes into play, because it solves all of these problems directly. It introduces a way to build compliance-focused trading environments inside the XRP ledger's native DEX without compromising on decentralization, cost efficiencies, or user controls. Institutions can now create permissioned order books tied to verified credentials, ensuring that only authorized participants can interact with specific markets. This is huge. This means any fintech or financial institution can start utilizing the XRP ledger DEX immediately with compliance built in from day one. The XRP Ledger DEX is one of the world's oldest decentralized exchanges, battle tested and operating continuously since 2012. So this is huge. There is no need to deploy custom smart contracts. The infrastructure is already integrated at the protocol level and free to use. Liquidity remains consolidated on the ledger, not fragmented across platforms. With this approach, the XRP Ledger unlocks a new category of institutional-grade financial activity that is regulated, scalable, and cost-effective, all while preserving everything that makes the ledger powerful to begin with. It's a critical milestone in making decentralized finance truly accessible to traditional institutions. And then this is how it all works. Again, if you really want to get technical with it, you guys are more than welcome to. But here are those use cases that are now going to be explored on the XRP Ledger, which includes stablecoin and fiat FX swaps. Guys, this is what I have been talking about for years now. I go back to 2023, June of 2023. I said in a recent, can this get out of my screen? I hate this promote thing that they added to X now because it blocks some of the screen. But back in 2023, I said in a recent report from October of 2022, the BIS concluded that OTC FX markets have reached $7.5 trillion per day. This is roughly over $2.3 quadrillion per year. What I find very interesting about this is the last bullet there. 5 jurisdictions make up 78% of all FX trading. Those 5 include the US, the UK, Hong Kong, Singapore, and Japan. Ripple has massive exposure to 4 out of 5 of these major jurisdictions, minus, of course, the US due to regulatory scrutiny, which, by the way, this is now solved. So now 5 of 5 are tapped in. There is a ton of opportunity for crypto-enabled solutions in the FX market. A few of the recent announcements regarding Ripple and XRP include Singapore granting Ripple an MPI license for their XRP-powered on-demand liquidity solution, Hong Kong with their tokenization EHKD pilot program. Many Ripple partners have expanded into Japan in recent years. SBI Group has been streamlining Ripple and XRP adoption in Japan for a while. And then, of course, we already know about the UK. I mean, Ripple has been behind the UK forever. They have POCs there. Ripple is a huge name in the UK. Nonetheless, this is why I've been hyper-focused on what is happening outside of the US, especially around Ripple. Connections are being made, and Ripple is making a big name for itself in these large jurisdictions. And by the way, here are those facts. Trading in OTC FX markets reached 7.5 trillion per day in April of 2022. Imagine what they're trading at now. But also think about all of the stablecoin launches, right? I talked about it in a recent post on May 31st as well. I said the FX market is being tapped in. The $7.5 trillion per day market is moving on chain in a huge way, and XRP is at the forefront with all of these stablecoin launches, right? All of these stablecoin launches that just happened are crazy bullish for XRP and the XRPL, especially now that we have this. The FX market is now going to be tapped in a big way through stablecoin initiatives. Then we also have contractor and payroll payouts. Again, as an alternative cross-border FX rail, the FX market is the key here. Cross-border B2B payments, businesses using stablecoins for B2B payments, treasury transfers, and trade settlements. Then we also have corporate treasury. Guys, this is so bullish for XRP and the XRPL. Between Hidden Road also being a FX powerhouse, then we get the permission DEX built upon all of the additional moves that are happening around the XRPL. It's very clear that 2025 has been a massive year for crypto and for Ripple and even for XRP. But going forward, I think that we are going to start to see even more bigger announcements, major partnerships, deals being signed, and it's all because of what's coming to the XRPL. All of these are crucial puzzle pieces for the XRP ledger and even for XRP to be 10 times, if not even 100 times bigger than what they are today. And no, I'm not just talking about value. I'm not just talking about the price of XRP. I'm just talking about in terms of adoption, in terms of volume and value moving over the XRP ledger. I do think that we are about to witness these utility networks scale in a massive way, and it all happens through institutional grade access and use cases really becoming a possibility on these networks. Institutional grade adoption is going to skyrocket from here on out, especially with regulations becoming a reality in the US here soon. Yeah, I do think that we need to prepare, because I do think that the XRPL and XRP are going to become major key pieces for the banking and institutional side of finance. And with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys do want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.